Today I'm going to introduce you guys to one of the hottest stocks in the entire stock market. This stock has performed unbelievably well the past year, and in the past month it is absolutely on fire. Now this particular company is one of the biggest holdings of a close friend of mine. It's actually his biggest holding, and he is making a killing on it right now. And I have several people in my stock market membership group that are investors in this company. As a matter of fact, I would go on a limb and say there are more people invested in this particular company in my stock market group than even big companies like Apple or Google. It is insane. So many of them have tried to talk me into buying it, and unfortunately I haven't, and we'll get to kind of why I haven't personally bought it. But first we got to look at this company, right? So when you think of a high-flying stock, you know, one that's going up at a rapid rate, usually you think of high PE companies, right? This company right now has a trailing PE of 9 on it and has a forward PE under 7 on it right now, okay? That's like crazy to think about right off the bat. Like usually companies that are up massively in the past month, in the past year, usually they're mostly like high-flying stocks that have ridiculous PEs. This one is not whatsoever, guys. Let's go ahead and look at this income statement. Look at how revenue is rising just in the past 4 quarters, okay? This is just the past 4 quarters. They do 4.6 billion, then they do 5.5 billion, then they do 6.1 billion, then they do $6.8 billion in 1 quarter. Look at how that's risen in just in the last 4 quarters, guys. Look at gross profit from 1.7 to 2.6 billion to 3.1 billion to $3.7 billion, guys. It is unbelievable. Then we go ahead and we look at the net income line. Look at the way the numbers are going up from 894 million to 1.6 billion to 2.3 billion to now almost 2.7 billion in this past quarter. And most people that are invested in the stock believe this is a company that they will be making around $3 billion in net income per quarter, guys. Around $3 billion in net income per quarter throughout 2018. That is mind-blowing. Look at the way their balance sheet is improving now. So they had only about, well, that's a lot of money still, $3.6 billion 4 quarters ago in cash. Now they've gotten into a place where they have actually over $6 billion in cash, and you can imagine if they're going to bring in another $3 billion, let's say in this current quarter, that might jump up to $9 billion. We got short-term investments of about $166 million on this company, and long-term investments of around $314 million, and they are paying down debt very nicely. They used to have a ton of debt on this company, right? Even if you go back just 4 quarters ago, look at the long-term debt. It was at $11.3 billion. Now in this most recent quarter, they got it down to about $7.6 billion. And as you can imagine, if you're going to be pulling in $3 billion in profit per quarter, you can probably get the rest of that debt paid off literally within the next 2 or 3 quarters, guys. That's how fast it can happen here. Now, what is the company? It is Micron Technology, ticker symbol MU. This company is up nearly 50% in just the past month, guys. Up over 48% in a 1-month span. That is unbelievable performance. So if you had $100,000 invested in the stock a month ago, basically you got about 150,000 almost now. Over the past 5 days alone, the stock is up 15%. It is just absolutely on fire. Now their business, it's mostly a DRAM and NAND business. You can pause the video here if you want to look more into their description of the company and whatnot. Their businesses are very much more, I would call it commodity related. So meaning, you know, depending on if there's oversupply, if there gets to be a point where there's too much supply, prices drop a lot, and a company like this, their profitability erodes very quickly. But right now, pricing is going phenomenal, and they're making money hand over fist. Like if you look at the revenue they got coming in, this next quarter up here, they're going to potentially do somewhere around $7-ish billion in revenue. If they do $3 billion plus in net income, guys, that's ridiculous that much money made it down to that bottom line. It's almost like a Facebook situation here, right? Except 2 very different business models, obviously. So this company is on fire right now. Everything is clicking for them. Now, people always ask me, like, why aren't you investing? I've had 1 person or 2 people in my stock market group actually, like, you know, try to convince me to buy this stock, MU stock. My, you know, very close friend who's his biggest investment, he's like, why are you not in this one? I know you love lower PE companies. It's such a great value and whatnot. The reason I am not personally in this company is because I don't like to make money. No, I'm just kidding. The main reason is I am not convinced that 2018 is not going to be their best year of the company in the history, okay? So I'm not convinced that it gets any better for MU going forward. That is my big question. There's nothing, I've looked in the company so many times, and when I look into the company, there's no way I can convince myself that 2018 is, you know, just going to be a good year, and 2019 is going to be even better, 2020 is going to be even better. When I invest in stocks, I really like to get into companies that I feel, and I'm like convinced that they're going to do better in the future than they're doing today. With MU, I don't know if I can say that. I know I can't say that. It doesn't mean I disbelieve in their business model. It doesn't mean I think they're going to go down. It doesn't mean I think they're a bad stock. It just means I haven't been convinced that 2019 will be better than 2018 is going to be, and 2020 is going to be better than 2018. So for that point, I cannot get in it. But on the flip side, and you know, it's a good point my friend brings up. He says, okay, this is a forward PE right now. It's a forward PE on the stock of, what was it? It was under 7. We'll just say 7 on it right now, right? He's like, all right, if profitability drops by 50%, okay? If their net income drops by 50% and the stock price stays the same, their forward PE on that company is going to be, 14 at that point? That's still not too high. That's still actually under what the market's at. And he's like, if net income drops by 50%, and it's the truth, if net income was to drop by 50% in 2019 versus what it's supposed to be in 2018, and the stock price stays the same, we're still going to have a forward PE that's under what the market is trading at on the stock. But at the same time, if those prices really erode in a rapid manner, this could be a company that goes from actually being, you know, unbelievably profitable to not really profitable at all, or making, you know, or literally losing money. This is a company that historically lost a lot of money when pricing was weak. So I don't know. It's one of those stocks I would love to get in. I see the 7 forward PE. I see them paying down this balance sheet. They should have, you know, within 2 or 3 quarters have virtually no debt on the balance sheet, a phenomenal balance sheet, a ton of money to invest in the business. And I look at all that and it's exciting to me. It's absolutely exciting. And it's like, wow, where can they go? And you know, could this be $100 stock before you know it and whatnot? But at the same time, I just cannot get in this one just because I'm not convinced that 2019 will be better than 2018 is going to be, and so forth. And that's just, you know, my investing style. And you know, maybe it's for wrong. Maybe I should just jump in this one. But that is literally how I feel about it. I'm just not convinced that the future is going to be better than today with this particular stock. And you know, I'm not convinced it's going to be, you know, a horrible stock or anything like that. I can't get in it personally. But I would love to know your guys' opinion on this. Do you follow MU? Or you invest in MU? You know, I love to hear your guys' opinion on this stock. If you are investing in MU and you're a big investor in the company and you think they're going to do, you know, way better in 2019, 2020, 2021, I would love to hear your opinion on why you think that, and maybe you don't think that. Maybe you think it's just going to, you know, this year is going to be their best year and everything's just going to be kind of like okay after that. And maybe you're fine with that. And I would love to hear kind of your guys' explanation down there in the comments. And if you don't own the stock, is this one you're thinking about buying or looking into? I would love to hear from you guys down there. Anyways, hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did. Thank you for watching and have a great day.